everyone, and welcome along to the Christmas Cup for its second year. I'm joined in the commentary box by Demon. Hello.
That's a quick shift to me. Hello.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because I've got nothing prepared for the start of this. So, this is the second running of the Christmas Cup after the success, I guess, of the first year. And it's round one at the Belgian Grand Prix, and all the drivers driving the 1978 Team Lotus 79, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But are you looking forward to this one?
Well, yeah, after the antics of last year's, a few may remember at Abu Dhabi in particular, it's got a lot to live up to, this classic Christmas Cup.
Yeah. Don't know if we'll be seeing any moments quite like that again. Hopefully not.
Hope not. Well,
you need to make sure that you're a spectator, because otherwise you're going into the game, by the way. So, trying to sort out, you know, people who are going to be the front of this. We've got... already forgotten.
Well, from F1 we've got Car Alex. We've got Flying Finn, who's probably our favourite here.
Yeah.
And that is it. We have returning previously F1 drivers. We have Chalet Beacol, although I think that's generous to include him in that list. Davidos used to be in F1. And that is it of the drivers we have here.
Yeah.
We've got Casper from F2, should be right up at the front of the order. But no other standout front runners other than that, I'd say.
No. Yeah. So...
Oh, Lee Findlay, sorry.
Yeah. Well, the order will eventually emerge. This is the only round that has qualifying involved, so they'll do a short qualifying and then 25% race. For the other 4 rounds of the season, they'll just do the race with championship standings being reversed, which usually makes the races more interesting. I think there were some very good moments last year. I think they went about 4 wide through Blanchimont in the pouring rain in some terrible Williams, if people remember that. But so consistency is what's needed to win this championship, definitely. And Taiwa. Yes, from the very brief knowledge that I've got of this race, apparently Taiwa's quite high, and not even a one-stop might work.
Well, we have varying reports. We've got reports of 4% after 2 laps and 23% after 1, which is very reminiscent of Japan last season, where we had some people doing a no-stop and some people puncturing on the 1-stop.
Yeah.
Could be a very key aspect of this race.
We're eventually going. Also, I've got no idea how on earth qualifying is going to play out, because usually on F1 2018 you just do 3 runs during the session, you know, if it's a normal track. But obviously with this car and with the tyre wear, I don't know if that's going to work.
Well, I think those with the good tyre wear, they might go for 2 2-lap runs, seems reasonable. I'm not sure if they're going to be finding time on their second laps on these tyres, but I imagine there's not too heavy wear. And it is glorious sunshine, the Circuit Spa-Francorchamps.
Indeed it is. So unfortunately no rain, but we'll see if we get any for the race. But yeah, obviously I don't think they'll have time to do 3 runs, because I think the laps are well over 2 minutes in this car, and even with an 18-minute session they just won't have time to get round. Waiting for our first person to come out of the garage, and then we can get this qualifying session underway. And who is it?
Is it NUFC?
I've no idea.
I was already on board with him and he's out. I think it is. It is.
Let's find him. So he is our first man out. I'll go on board with
He's also our lowest ranked driver in the race today from Sys League 2. Only done 1 AOR race before now.
Hopefully he'll fare alright, considering that Racing Line and Auto Gears are the only assists allowed in this league. But we'll get a first lap of Spa on board with him as we head through I'll be honest, I've forgotten corner names.
This is Lacan.
Yep. And NUFC is taking it very cautiously on his outlet, so he might try and find someone else. AOR flying Finn. Oh god. Getting a little bit stuck on the inside curve, but obviously this is just their outlet. But so there's already a yellow flag in sector 1. Don't know what's happened there. But yeah, all these drivers going on their outlap, and they all seem to be struggling for grip already, I'll be honest.
Yeah, just got to warm these tyres up clearly. Lack of downforce on this car. Obviously tyres aren't anywhere near as grippy as 2018 specification Pirellis, even though we all hate them. And yeah, just got to... I think we'll see lap times improve towards the end of this session as drivers get more laps under the belt here.
Yes, I can't imagine anyone's been doing too many laps of practice for this one. So, as Ben said, every lap will count. But
Yes.
we surely have got some drivers now getting close towards starting a lap, trying to find someone. We'll stick with Flying Finn.
Just approaching the bus stop now to be the first driver.
Okay.
I think to start a lap unless he's been overtaken.
Yeah, I will stick with Flying Finn, seeing as he is what appears to be most people's bet for pole in this race, considering the times he's been setting in the bit of practice that they've done. So go through the bus stop. It takes a very, very wide entry and almost loses the car before he starts the lap. And he is sideways coming towards the line. But nevertheless, he's heading down towards turn 1. Braking around the 100-metre board. Getting the car into the apex. And stamping on the throttle up towards Eau Rouge. Obviously a lot less things for the drivers to manage than in a usual qualifying lap. Obviously on F1 2018 you've got the fuel and also ERS. I presume they've got fuel in this car. Yeah, I presume they do.
Yeah.
But no ERS for them to manage.
It doesn't run off gas or air, Dan, so yes.
Well, I thought there might be one fuel mix. I don't know.
No. The fuel mixes do carry over somewhat unrealistically. But
Yeah.
It's a big moment there, mid-corner.
Oh,
in front of him.
Andy Thompson has completely lost it. Right in front of the Flying Finn. So, Flying Finn's still continuing on his lap as he headed in towards No Name. It's looked like a pretty solid banker so far, to be fair. No major mistakes. And considering the car they're driving, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Obviously had a very good performance in AOR this weekend until the last lap, where it all went a bit wrong for him. But showing that he clearly does have pace on this game. Through the final chicane. And then a little bit wide through there. But he's only got one sector to go. And it's just a very, very long straight for these guys now.
Be interesting to see just how much of a lift it is through Belgium. Whether we have to brake at all. Maybe a downshift.
We'll find out. It's definitely not a downshift. It's easily flat. I don't think the car's going in fast enough to warrant a downshift as NUSC sets the first time at 211.9, immediately beaten by B Colt with 207.4 as Bronson comes towards, as Flying Finn comes towards 206.8 to take provisional pole. Finally, Finley.
6/10 in it there.
As Shelley has set provisional pole by only a few hundredths. It's gone 7 hundredths quicker than the Flying Finn. As Lee Finley comes towards the bus stop, runs it a little bit deep and compromises his exit. As Lee Finley comes towards the line and goes fourth at a 208.3. So there's a decent spread of lap time so far.
And Cowidossi's already back in the pit lane, living up to his reputation there.
Got Crow Nexus coming through. I'll be honest, I've forgotten some corner names. I don't know what that is. It Rivage? The hairpin hill right-hander?
Yeah, Rivage.
Yeah. As Crow Nexus.
What's this one then?
Put on. As Cronex just runs quite wide.
On the path.
Yeah. Currently racing in F3 with me and Ben at the moment. But he's going through the final chicane right now.
Not doing all too well, Cronex. Has had a very disappointing season by his standards. Only got a handful of points so far. Could he get some vengeance in the Christmas Cup anticipated last year?
Well, he's got a car right in front of him. I don't know if he's giving him a slipstream. I don't think so from that far away. But it's probably not ideal for Cronex is heading into the bus stop, I'm going to be honest. Anyway, down into the bus stop he goes. Just before the 100 metre board, it's NUFC right in front of him, who does... Well, he tries going to the pit lane, and then spun.
Well, I hope he was trying to go into the pit lane.
As Bronson goes with a 206.8, and Cronexus goes 4th with a 207.3, and the Flying Fin with a 206.1 to take provisional pole by some margin.
Although I do see B Cole there up in 2nd place, so I imagine Flying Fin might see a bit more competition from Casper and maybe Carl Alex on a better lap. Chalet as well. As Carl Alex does go 2/10 off. We're still yet to see a lap from Brandy, Garrett or Bankai.
Trying to find if anyone else is still on a lap right now, if they're all just coming back into the pit lane.
Is coming into the bus stop. Yeah, he is on an in lap, it seems. Bankai seems to be going quite quickly as we go into the Fania chicane. Probably yellow helmet here. Many many comparisons to be made between Bankai and Ed. I'm sure he'll appreciate you saying that. And a good run through Stadler actually. Look at his sector time so far.
Bankai finding these bets in these old classic cars as we head. He takes a very interesting...
He may have been 4 seconds down in the first sector, so I'm not sure this
okay, he's not actually on a lap. Let's see if someone is... David heads into turn 1. Not as much into the apex as Flying Fin was on his first lap, but accelerates the car downhill in towards Eau Rouge. And David weaving on a straight. I don't know if that's trying to generate tyre temp or what, I'll be honest. I don't really know. As he heads down the very long Kennel straight. But I think David is on a lap here, so we'll stick with him. Because it's a bit difficult to find someone who is actually on a lap at this point.
He will be the first of the drivers on this lap, having bailed out.
As David, he's gone very, very wide.
He's set a competitive first sector time, to be fair.
And has absolutely destroyed that corner. So surely is the corner cutting warning and his lap invalid. Has to be.
It is invalid, yes. And
yes.
That is another failed run for Daridos.
Oh, we'll go to Bankai.
It's shocking to see, really. No one really expected this.
The poor man's Ayrton Senna hit going through Ravage. The heads towards No Name. Runs slightly wide.
But he gets on the power.
Yeah.
Nicely.
Head down in towards Puon. Gets the car nicely rotated, to be fair. Back on the throttle. So head down towards the Fania chicane. It's the car nice into the apex again. Oh, he's lost the rear end though, very slightly. And that must have cost him a serious amount of time. Almost like he's running too high a ballast in this car.
Take that nicely. Good speed through there.
Yeah, apart from that mistake at the final chicane, it was actually, it seemed like a very decent lap from Bankai, to be fair. As we head towards Bonchimon, and as we found out, it is easily flat. I don't know if it will be in the race, but it looks as though it will be. Just before the 100 metre board once again.
He's only a 10th off in the first sector, but 1.3 off in the middle. So I think for him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that mistake. But Bankai goes nice, but there's definitely a lot of time in that lap. So he should have time to do one more if he gets round.
Yeah, I think we have next of our front runners on a lap now is Chalet going through
Yep.
Eau Rouge.
Just got
It's
this.
now an incredibly long wait to Le Tom. Wonder if we'll see drivers slipstreaming each other back and forth on the straight if that long, but then again, not exactly much downforce coming off these cars to slipstream on.
Yeah, but you never know with Cody's how much slipstream they put into these cars. Let's be honest, as Shelley has loses the rear end quite significantly. Only needs to find 6 thousandths to go ahead of Bronson, who's in P3.
But he's 4 tenths down off himself in first sector. He's actually set an incredible first sector time on his first run.
A man known for running very low wings, though, so not surprising.
Well, that's not going to be happening in this middle sector when he's already 4 tenths down, though, for him. He's got a 55.555 from himself earlier to beat through this section of track.
Let's see if he can find that time as he nails the final chicane. Runs a little bit wide, but if he's not got that invalid, he's definitely not lost time out there.
And he's gained 35 thousandths.
Ah, so he needs to find 4 tenths.
Not enough. I think he will be diving into the pits here unless he's fueled up for another run. Finley's coming into a calm. Casper's weaving all over the place to get some heat.
As JKLC has now joined, so we'll start from the back as Shelley is completing this lap. Comes up towards the line and does not improve, but presumably he's going again.
A former F1 driver will be starting last, which is probably going to be the case with Dowd anyway, setting an invalid lap time again, no doubt. Yes.
Try and find someone else who's on a lap.
Alex is coming to the bus stop.
I think he's just about to start one.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gone very... Oh, okay. It's a very interesting ride.
We've got Lee Finley currently in fifth position, going into the final chicane.
He's on an out lap.
Yeah. Deary me. B Colt in La Source.
Yeah, he's
through that actually. But I think he is on a lap.
I think he is, yeah. I think all of these. But we'll keep on board with Alex as he is the man closest to taking pole position away from the flying fin.
Oh, I don't think so. Chalet's managed to beat his original first sector time here, and he's going into Pouon now.
Okay. Well, we'll follow him through here, and then we'll try and capture the guys' laps as well. Down towards the final chicane. I don't know where Shelley's going to find the time though, because his middle sector didn't look all that bad on his previous lap, to be honest, and he only found 35 thousandths, so going to need to be a bit braver on this one to find some more time.
And he has done. He's found 4 tenths, in fact. And this is looking like a particularly good lap. He has matched the flying fin for the first 2 sectors.
Okay.
And if he's running a bit lower wing, as it seems like he might be, he could be on a good lap here. This could be pole or Chalet.
So it could be the bus stop separating Shelley and provisional pole. I guess the car nicely stops on the first apex. And he'll get back on the throttle for the exit. Let's see if this is enough to take provisional pole. And indeed it is. It's a 2:05.7. He has lowered the benchmark by a long way. So that's what the other driver have got to aim at.
Beating by 3 tenths in that final sector. Clearly running some lower wings there is Chalet, and it's, well, in qualifying at least it's working out.
On board with car
Alex is 4 tenths up on himself here.
So you need to find a couple more attempts in the final sector to take provisional pole away from Shelley. Comes towards the line. He's not done enough. Misses out by 2.5 tenths. Obviously we'll still have time to improve.
He's not pushing unless he's going to be doing a slowdown lap, but it's going to have to be a quick slowdown lap, so I don't think so.
That looks like it could be the end of his session. So all attention now goes to the flying fin, I guess, to try and who's heading down towards
Pouon. One of my sources, could you stick on some telemetry, please, and use some other cameras? Lack of experience here in the commentary box.
Yeah, well, you see, when you haven't done this for 4 months, you forget the basics.
Oh, Flying Pin pushing hard there through Fanyut, losing the rear end. He comes up towards the second sector split. We'll have a look at his time as Beacock retires. He's competitive for his own sectors here, so he's going to have a good final sector to improve. But it does seem to have been a pretty scrappy start to the sector, going quite raggedy through Stavelot.
Down in towards the bus stop. And he's gone down into neutral there. That's not going to help him, but pushes massively through the second apex. Lots of oversteer on exit as he heads towards the line, and he's not done enough.
Yeah, he found a little bit of time in that final sector, but the shot really, he's done two 206.1s now. He's just seemingly doesn't quite have the pace in qualifying, although whether it'll pay off in the race, we shall see. As that Dawid has set a valid lap time. He's popped in a 207.2, he's up to 9.
I think he's still pushing for another one as well, so I'll keep on board with him as he heads through Puon. Down in towards the finish again, and he's losing the rear end massively. He's really not got this car set up well at all.
Well, they are the preset setups. So,
well, he's chosen the wrong preset, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, Lee Findlay, probably our best bet for improvement here, as he's found 1/10 in the first and another 10th in the middle. About half a 10th. And
he needs to find 1,000th to beat Crow Nexus, but we'll need those couple of attempts to go ahead of Beacon.
Maybe a bit more like 1/10 looking at it, but good news for him, and he's already beaten his sector time from his best lap in the final sector by 2/10 on an earlier lap. So this could be quite good for Lee Findlay if he gets this well done, but he's gone a bit wide through the bus stop towards the line.
Just go fourth.
Not his best final sector time, but it...
David went 6th on that lap. And now I've just got two guys. Oh, it's Alex and Flying Finn are still out there. They're actually on laps.
We've got Frandy Thompson currently in last on the lap.
Well, Flying Finn's run out of fuel, so he's definitely not. Follow Alex as he comes through Fanyut.
I don't think Frandy Thompson is on the lap as he's not in the session anymore.
Right.
Just feeding me lies.
Alex heads through the second sector, and I think he is on a lap, judging by the way he's pushing. Don't know if it's going to be enough to take provisional pole though.
He has oh, I think it could be.
Oh no, he's lost the car through Blanchimont. Has had a big moment.
He was a 10th up.
He needed to find 2.5 tenths to take pole away from Shelley, and he has completely bottled it in the final sector.
Still no AOR championships for Alex. Be a good chance this, and he's going to want to stop bottling it if he's going to have a chance to beat Shelley. And he's got Flying Finn there for company. And the quick drivers around him, so I think that is our qualifying complete.
Indeed, it looks like it is, as Alex is just getting wheeled back into the pits, and then hopefully he'll retire. And this session will be over with. But it's Shelley who's taken pole. Any surprises there, Ben?
Yeah, I think everyone was expecting Flying Finn to obliterate the field here, and he's not done it. He's down in third. He didn't seem to have much more pace than that, so it seems like he may have chosen the wrong setup.
Yeah, Shelley seems to have found something else to have a slot in that 205.7, as we seem to be waiting for players, but I was hoping for the results screen.
Yeah, well, if we remember back to last year's Classic Cup in the the oldest of the cars available in that McLaren at Japan. We saw Chalet win against the odds against the later crowned F1 champion Ollie D that race, and clearly lack of downforce brings the best out of that Estonian.
Yeah, so Shelley has taken pole and it's Carl Alex lining up on the front row alongside him. Flying Finn is third with a fair bit big gap back to Lee Finley in fourth. Bronson fifth, David sixth, Pedro seventh, Cronexus eighth, Casper ninth, Bankai 10th, and I'll be honest, I don't know beyond that, but we'll see on the starting grid.
NFC and Frandy Thompson on the back row with Jake starting behind them.
Yeah.
Thanks to joining late. Be interesting to see his progress through the field. It is cloudy.
It is very dark and overcast. As there was definitely a car starting on top of each other for a brief second there. But that
we
looks
do have a formation lap, so
looks to have fixed itself.
Yes.
Just waiting for the drivers to ready up. I don't know if obviously can't make any setup changes really, can they?
No, Hart Firme is on.
And they only have one tyre.
From the marshals.
Yeah. They're all ready to go. There's a lot of them on the pitch straight. But
I think they may be called into action if season 12 F1 is anything to go by.
Well, how many? There's 3 drivers from that infamous race on this grid. Anyway, we're going away for the formation lap. As whoever's in Flying Finn is, I thought he was losing the rear end, but it appears that that's just some very extreme tyre warm. Carlights in second, Flying Finn third, Lee Finley fourth, Brunson fifth, David sixth, Pedro seventh, Cronexus eighth, Casper ninth, Bankai 10th. I don't even want to attempt to pronounce this guy's name in 11th. Okay, well you can do that. Mr. Robin HX, I think, in 12th. Yes. NUFC 13th. Frandy Thompson 14th and Jake 15th, who joined midway through quali. As Shelley has created quite a big gap on the formation lap. Carl Alex seemingly wanted to save his tyres a bit more than his rival.
It's an interesting strategy because they seem to be struggling for tyre heat in qualifying. We've got quite a lot of cloud coverage here, and did get reports from Chalet earlier before this race that he had next to no tyre wear issues, so this could be quite a big advantage for him, although he's crawling. Does seem that I have been left in only control. Thank God Dan's back.
Yeah, so I mean, if they are struggling for, if Shelley's fine on tyre wear, then he's got a very big advantage heading into this race. But people such as David that were reporting tyre issues could have problems.
Although that may be a slightly big problem that he's inept at staying on the track. But, there are a few gravel traps around here, so must try not to find himself in a few of those. I think what would be quite interesting to see if we get any four-way battles into Blanchimont in these cars. I don't think there'll be, even though there's dry conditions, I don't think we'll be getting any survivors out of that such an instance this time.
I don't think the car's wide enough to go full wide, so I think a few of them are getting up in the wall if that's the situation. As someone has just driven onto the grass as they end the formation lap. I presume Shelley's already on the grid, I'll be honest.
He is taking his position, just doing a burnout. And, hopefully we do not have any of those glitches where we have a burnout and someone's in the wall before the start of this race.
Yeah, that would be an unfortunate situation. I'm trying to find the ideal camera angle for the start and I'm yet to find one, so we might be relying on you to commentate this.
Oh, go David, go David.
Go David. That's not great. Anyway, it's 5 lights here in Spa.
There's no movement in
there. We're eventually going. Drivers held for a very, very long time, but it does look like Shelley has kept the lead heading down in towards turn 1. There's someone up the inside of a flying thing. I think it's Lee Finley, but yep. Shelley has kept the lead out front. Lee Finley has get ahead of the Flying Finn. Ronson slotting in behind those two, and Pedro and David are going side by side just behind, heading up in towards Eau Rouge, trying to find out what happens between those two. And it looks like David has come out ahead.
Although he's firmly in the slipstream, we've got slipstream much further up there,
yeah, Alex, it looks like he's taken. Although it's
down the middle.
Lee Finley has taken the lead. He's gone very, very wide, but can Shelley now find a way past? Getting all very, very close. There's contact. There's contact further behind us. Shelley's out. Shelley's out of the race. What on earth happened there? They just seem to get all very much caught up with each other through the middle of Le Com, and Shelley was just the unfortunate victim there.
Yeah, I think that's very much stemmed from Lee Finley outbraking himself and trying to resume the racing line in what is, quite frankly, a dog of a car. No one's been able to cope, and they've all collected each other, and unfortunately for Shelley, he has come out worse. The former F1 driver Jake seems to be struggling at the back of this grid. Although we've got Randy Thompson in the wall there.
God, it's not gone well for him, man. He's lost half of his front wing, which must be an absolute nightmare.
Jake seems to be running on a little bit of no practice here, as he's... Well, he's pretty...
David has gone into the wall, and Pedro
as well.
Both crashed.
Oh dear, that is on the exit of Stavolo, which we saw from Jake's camera there, and the wall, it does kind of stick out a bit there, but...
Back to the front, and Flying Finn's on the attack on Carl Alex up the inside in towards the bus stop. And it looks like he's just got that job done, unless Alex gets a much better exit and gets him back down into towards the first corner. Going to be maybe side by side, but Flying Finn will defend the inside line shortly. And we've got that one covered, but this battle will keep going on as they head down towards Eau Rouge, but so that they can now catch Lee Finley, who's already broken a second away.
Yeah, that sabotage of Shelley's race is playing beautifully here for Lee Finley. But Carl Alex probably looks close enough for a move here. Yeah, as he moves to the inside.
And he'll have this move done on the brakes. Yeah, it's a very, very...
Flying Finn hangs it in there, and that is brilliantly done from Flying Finn there to stay ahead-ish as he scoops up a bit of gravel, and Bicol licking his lips there behind.
Yeah, he's trying to get involved in this action as Flying Finn loses the car.
The four-man Ayrton Senna had a great start up in P5.
He's no poor man's anymore, just a middle-class man's Ayrton Senna now.
Oh, there's contact!
God!
Alex Flying Finn and Bicol have taken themselves out.
And Bankai might have lost a lot of position in that because he had to run very, very wide.
Crow Nexus is up into second position through all of that. Bicol's down to 7th, Flying Finn's down to 8, and Alex is down to 10th, still ahead of Jake though.
Very sorry that we missed that tree because we were too busy laughing about our own jokes about Bankai Bullet's helmet. But, yeah, so Crow Nexus has found himself into P2, and Lee Finley's tactics on the first lap has worked out brilliantly. He's now got a 7-second gap to P2.
Yeah, Casper's going to be, well, he's going up for a move in the inside of Blanchimont here, but he's got to be thinking he's in a good position for second place in this race as the, well, easily highest ranked driver outside of this event coming into this. But Schnitzel's actually made a move on him.
Indeed he has. Schnitzel up into P3. More action happening further behind.
NFC is getting a lot of penalties. We're going to have a look on the race director because it's getting ugly. Yes, these are just those 2 penalties.
Because Bankai Bullet has managed to work his way back up into P4 and is now hunting Casper just ahead of him. As
he's had a bit of a moment there.
Yeah, but he'll still get that massive slitching effect down the Kennel Straight as there's a yellow flag in Sector 1 for something. Don't know what, as NUC has retired from the session.
Nexus could be looking to break through in all of this.
And it's 3 wide. And Bankai Bullet's going to hold it round the outside. What a move!
Schnitzel. Yeah. Edges out Schnitzel. But Casper's come back on the inside, he's lost the rear.
And it's Bankai Bullet up into P3. As so Casper's down a position. Schnitzel's lost a place, and Flying Finn is now being forced to defend from Bronson, and Alex is rejoining this party as well. But now they're all battling for 6th, 7th and 8th rather than 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, although the pace advantage exhibited in qualifying, I think they're still in with a chat. Well, definitely with a podium, but Pro Nexus is seeming to break free here. But Bankai Bullet is looking very handy in this car, playing to his strengths here. The 79 Lotus, which surprisingly enough, it is not playing to the strengths of Casper, who must enjoy his own setups with a high ballast, I'm imagining, as the F2 race winner in Austria is seemingly quite average.
Not living up to his reputation in the classic Christmas Cup. As they head through Blanchimont, and Flying Finn and Bronson are both caught up very, very quickly to this pack ahead of him. Not surprising, though, given the advantage they showed in qualifying, as Schnitzel has run quite deep into the bus stop, and this could allow the Flying Finn a great opportunity to get past him. Gap's starting to appear a little bit between these guys now, as the pace starts to find the show.
Down the inside, and it is a clean move on Schnitzel.
He gets himself back up into P5.
And now Ecol as well, looking to make a move on Schnitzel.
Even with their incident, Flying Finn and Beacon must still fancy a podium here, considering the pace advantage that they're showing us. Oh god, Beacon has a massive moment at the top of Eau Rouge. I'm not going to say the meme.
We have our first pit stopper as well, as Schnitzel's coming back on Flying Finn.
And I've got the worst camera angle for that. I'm very sorry for that.
A lot later, Flying Finn, from the outside, and that is, well, it shows the confidence he has in this car.
Oh god, and he's lost the rear end though, coming out of Lecomte, and Schnitzel forced to go defensive. Yeah, being forced to go defensive due to the advancements of Bronson as they head through No-No.
As our first pit stopper in this race.
So we're unclear as to whether everyone's forced to make a pit stop, or it's just the drivers that suffer from particularly bad tyre wear. As I seem to have a spider on my screen right now, which wasn't in real life, just on the game, just in front now. That's really helpful. Anyway, still managing to stay ahead of Bronson through this middle sector.
We have Flying Finn all over the back of Casper there, down the road.
Flying Finn is definitely pushing the limits of this car a lot more than everyone else. Losing the rear end of the car nearly every other corner.
Wow.
Yeah, and it looks like the Flying Finn is getting... Trying to find who that is.
Maybe Jake has fallen 17 seconds behind Alex.
I'll be honest, I haven't really been keeping myself up to date with that gap.
So we have Flying Finn reeling his way through the order here, looks set for a safe P2. But Bankai Bullet has gained back that second loss to Pro Nexus. And this could be, well, he lost that position during the midst of the chaos with Beacol, Alex and Phil.
It looked like Bronson had got that move done on Schnitzel, but he's gone very, very deep in towards turn 1 and has allowed him to get past again. So Bronson's got to do all that hard work all over again.
Yeah, and he's accidentally letting Alex into this fight as he's just over a second back, but we've got Bankai Bullet possibly making a move on Pro Nexus for second place. Pro Nexus goes defensive, but he holds position for now. Clearly, Bankai's got much more confidence in his car as Flying Finn, well, we know, has got a lot more confidence in his car, is joining in the battle for second place, as tragically Jake gets a 3-second time penalty, going to drop him down to 10th position.
As this whole gaggle of cars head through No-Name, very, very close to each other.
Run that Flying Finn got through there, right onto the back of Bankai.
No move done though into Puon.
Yeah, Bankai was incredible through that.
Only 3 attempts behind Pro Nexus, and want to get this move done. Spells a little bit of breathing space to the cars behind. Cronexus run up.
Using plenty of the track there.
As Flying Finn is practically pushing Bankai Bullet through that corner. And, well, this could get very interesting. The Bankai Bullets run very, very wide. And that's going to allow the Flying Finn surely to get through. And it does.
Yeah.
So that's Flying Finn up into P3.
Dispatch Jake for P8, no, 9, sorry.
As Casper's also trying to now get past Bankai Bullet as well. Down in towards the bus stop. They're going to be side by side. Bankai Bullet with the inside line just about holds position for the time being. You'd imagine he'd stay with those two ahead though, because it looks like Bankai's got the pace on Cronexus.
Alex, well, he's within DRS range, but sadly for him, his car's not quite that modern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking to get some goes back off the order, but Casper all over the back of Bankai. Ooh, a Rouge. I think we might see a move for second place as well, as Flying Finn is pulling out of the slipstream. We've now got Casper pulling out of the slipstream on the inside, struggling for straight line speed.
And Flying Finn just holds it round the outside.
Yep,
Flying
Finn.
Bankai Bullet. Very impressive. But Flying Finn back up into P2. Has got a 9.2 second gap to Lee Finley ahead. It's going to be a very, very impressive drive if he's able to haul that gap in.
Well, it was best part of the second quicker in qualifying, so... Oh, Bankai! Very wide through no name.
Still no,
flipping the wall.
Still no way through for
he's lost it through P1. Casper's going to go round it outside. Oh no, he's lifted off actually. Bizarre. Let's Bankai stay in front. I'm clueless as to what's gone on there, I'm going to be honest, as Alex has passed B-Colt.
Yeah, that's what I was about to cut to when you started screaming, so I've got no idea what's happened. But yeah, Alex is now past Bronson. Bronson's progress seems to have stalled somewhat. Don't really know why. And that's allowed Alex back through. But Bankai Bullet has now come a little bit detached from Cronexus ahead, as Flying Finn is setting off in his pursuit of Lee Finley and seems to be gaining very, very quickly. It's gained 9/10 in about half a lap.
Lee Finley's probably taking this race quite easy. So we have Alex right on the back of Schnitzel. We've got a good run out of the bus stop. Moves to the outside. Got a bit of battling in front as well, as Alex looks to go around the outside of La Source, but he backs out of that one. And he's going to try and go side by side into a Rouge. Oh, and he's already doesn't matter. Easy move for Alex.
Yep.
But he has denied himself of some slipstreamers. There's a bit of a wobble for a Rouge from the two of them, and B-Colt is getting a very tasty slipstream here. Could this be 3 wide down the Kemmel Straight?
He's going to be gaining a lot, and surely he is going to be able to make it 3 wide if he wants. Trying to find that inside line, but he can't get there. Bankai just about holds off Casper for the time being, sorry, as Alex has got past Schnitzel, and now Bronson follows him through, up the inside.
Wise driving from B-Colt to stay out of that one and pick up the pieces really at the exit of the corner.
This is why this guy scored so many points in F1. Just an absolute legend when it comes to race-to-race, wheel-to-wheel combat, sorry. Anyway, out
still
front.
Time for him to retire yet. We've got a yellow flag in the first sector. That must be Mr. Robin X, I would believe. I know it's Jake, as he's fallen 20 seconds behind Frandy.
Yeah, it's not been a great race for our bottom three, has it? There, as we've already lost 4 as well. But
in fairness to Frandy and Mr. Robin, they do come from lower tiers, whereas Jake is a returning F1 driver. It's a little bit embarrassing, but clearly trying to sabotage this race, get a good position for the next race, and claim some good points there.
Yeah, what I would like to know, Ben, as our super mod in the commentary box, is does Shelley start on pole next week on on Sunday or whenever it is, or does Mr. Robin X start on pole?
As
Bankai Bullets from very wide through bus stop. Because I presume DNFs... From what I remember, DNFs start last. Which will be a bit of a blow for Shelley. Not only has he lost a great...
to not include that in the rules, it would seem.
Right. Well, hopefully that's sorted out before the next race. Anyway, Bankai Bullet is holding on to P4 for the time being, and his pace seems pretty good at the moment. Although he's losing touch to... Well, not losing touch, but not gaining on Cronexus. As Casper... Yeah.
Who's the inside?
Can he get the move done now? Or is Bankai going to hold it round the outside again? Yes, he is.
Beautiful driving from Bankai. Gets his elbows out, and Casper been embarrassed here by the F6 podium winner in a race this season.
Great knowledge there from Ben. As Casper is now...
Austria, I think.
As Casper's now coming under threat from Alex, Bronson and Schnitzel, who have all joined this pack as Bankai and Casper have battled. But as I was saying, Bankai doesn't seem to be that much quicker than Cronexus now, whereas he was at one point during this race. So his hopes of a podium seem to be fading, as Alex is now up the inside.
Jake has retired.
As Alex is up the inside of Casper in towards Fania, but Casper easily able to defend that. But looks like the all three behind Casper are smelling blood right now, because Bankai is pulling away from him.
We see Beacol pick up some more pieces here in behind, but he's trying to bottle it hard there at the edge of the stable as he loses the rear end, and he's falling back all the time. He's having a moment there. Very bizarre. I think that might have been a stream glitch, but he's gaining rapidly here into the bus stop.
As Alex is up the inside of Casper.
There's contact.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact there mid-apex. But Casper
well,
just about hang on. But he's now Bronson trying to make an attack on Alex. Yes, he's past Alex. Now Schnitzel's getting involved as they head down towards turn 1. And Casper just about somehow holds on, but is locked up. And they're going to be free wide now, heading down towards Eau Rouge. And I'm praying that that doesn't happen, and thank God it hasn't.
Well, we've at least got 2 wide though. There's Beacol and Alex. It looks like Beacol's going to have a back out of this one. There's Casper's one right in front. And Beacol's got a good run, but I'm imagining, Schnitzel's in prime position here if he can find a gap. Oh, Alex!
Oh God!
Crap. Oh dear. Bronson's in the wall.
I think you have just cursed him a couple of laps ago there, Ben, I'm going to be honest. And Bronson has found himself into a wall.
The positive news for him is he's not retired yet, and he is on for, well, everyone's on for points here.
You get points no matter where you finish.
Good race.
Because that's how the Christmas Cup works.
Well, this battle between Schnitzel and Alex, well, I'd imagine Alex is going to be quicker, having dispatched with him previously and be more looking towards Bankai Bullet. But Schnitzel staying with him for the time being after that carnage that ensued on the Camel Straight.
Flying Finn's got the gap down to 6.3 out front, but it's not going to be enough after all the mayhem that happened on the first 2. Lapsley Finley pretty much had an unassailable lead.
Yeah, big shout out to Cronexus there in third. He's navigated his way through the, well, pure unadulterated chaos beautifully. And despite not having too much pace, he's managed to do what he's not been able to do in F3 all season and have a very solid race and maximise his points. It would seem. Don't want to curse him too soon.
It appears that the only battle now that could potentially happen is whether Alex can catch Bankai, but at the moment that
not like
doesn't...
he's driving through the bus stop like that, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. Schnitzel 8 tenths behind Alex.
Thompson gaining rapidly on Beacol, as I imagine he does not have a front wing.
No, he does not. He has lost half of it, which looks to be hindering his performance slightly.
End of the points. Brandy is gaining. Is Bronson going to pit? Going for our fastest lap. He's incredibly slow for the bus stop.
And he does pit. Yes, he does.
Should still beat Mr. Robin X unless he does a complete and utter Bronson capitulation. Yeah, Alex is definitely beginning to reach towards Bankai. Schnitzel very close behind still.
Yeah, I've got about 1.5 laps remaining left of this Grand Prix. Going to need a big effort from Alex to maybe give him a chance down towards the bus stop on the final lap. But that gap is steadily coming down, so he's definitely got a chance there. Schnitzel is also keeping with Alex. To be fair to him, Bronson has emerged in P9. As Casper,
the other few tokens to use a fire on the exit of No Name goes a bit wide.
Well, do you even get a warning out there?
To the floor. I think if you do a very minor extension, you'll get a warning, and it's a bit inconsistent in that corner.
Yeah, it always tends to be.
I can't say I've ever experimented in this particular car.
No. As
Bankai. Look at the line through there. It's very wide through Stavelow's Bankai.
He's starting to struggle on his tyres here, because the gap's down to 8 tenths now, and Alex...
I think he might be feeling the pressure of the highest point scorer in AOR F1 PS4 history, is he not?
Is he?
I think he might. It's either him or Nervo.
Yeah.
Definitely in the last 5 or so seasons it'll be Alex.
Oh yeah, definitely. But obviously PS4 Season 12 runner-up, and well...
No safety car out there today to save him there.
No. But he does have a chance to get 4th place from Bankai Bullet on this very last lap of this first round of the Classic Christmas Cup.
Have a look how penalties are going to come into this. We have a 3-second time penalty for Flying Finn. No warnings for Crow Nexus or Bankai Bullet.
Oh, Alex just lost it at the top of the hill.
Oh, he's managed to get a warning on this lap, but no penalty.
What a game. As Alex heads down towards Lecomte with the inside line. We've seen Bankai being able to hold it round the outside of drivers here before, but he can't do it. Alex has managed to collect that inside line and gets up into P4.
Big news for Schnitzel as he has a 5-second stop-go penalty which will be applied at the end of the race, having not pitted. So he is definitely out of the running here. We saw Flying Finn in his pursuit of Lee Finley that's clearly been in vain get the fastest lap. He's done a cracking job to get it within 5 seconds, showing his clear confidence in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that initial madness on lap 1, somewhat instigated by himself, Lee Finley is gonna...
I mean, I'm not sure if there is a stewards panel for this.
There is.
I don't think Shelley's the sort of person that's going to put Lee Finley in there, I'll be honest. But you never know. Actually, I need to go to Lee Finley because he must be coming very close to the line as he is. He's coming towards the bus stop right about now. But as you say, after that first lap chaos, it's been a very easy drive for him to take the first victory of this AOR PS4 Classic Christmas Cup. And he does by 4, well, it will be 7 seconds ahead of Flying Finn, who comes home P2. And Crow Nexus will come home P3 to complete the podium, and he must be happy with that finish.
Running dry.
Alex comes home 4th, Bankai Bullet 5th, Schnitzel will finish 6th, and then we've got a very long wait to Casper down in 7th, who I'm guessing must have got damage from that incident on the Kennel Straight.
Yes. Okay, so as Frandy seemed to gain on him, as Beacon's gained rapidly on it. Yeah, decent recovery from Alex after the initial contact at Puon. Didn't quite see who was at fault for either of the moments of madness involving him and Beacol. But it's clearly, definitely not worked out for Beacol very well, as it only costs Flying Finn 1 position. Well, probably did cost him the win in the end, with the pace he exhibited towards the end. But he'll be gaining an awful lot on his rivals there, as him, Alex, Beacol and Shelley seem to have the pace on the rest, in this car at least.
It could all change for the next race, and I don't know what car they're in, but I'm guessing they're going to have more grip than this.
Let us find out. It is the Williams FW14 at Britain, Silverstone. That is the Damon Hill title winning car.
Is that 92 or 96?
96.
Right. I don't really remember much about that car. Anyway, Mr. Robin
It was so
HX.
better than everyone else and had two rather incompetent champions in it. But don't tell Beacott. And it's a Scottish winner.
Heroic victory.
Fans go wild.
Lee Finley takes the first win of this Christmas Cup.
Chaos ensuing after his late move there.
Is it a hollow win? Is it like your win at Silverstone then? Do you think he was feeling a similar emotion?
Well, there's quite a lot more at stake here, so I feel like Lee Finley's going to take that with a pinch of salt and move on to the next one, starting at the back of the grid.
Well, we don't think he will be at the back, considering we had 5 DNFers, who I'm pretty confident will start behind them. Anyway.
As well as H.H. Green, who was absent.
Yeah, so it is Lee Finley that wins from Flying Finn in second, Cronex is third, Alex 4th, Bankai Bullet 5th, Schnitzel 6th, Casper 7th, Frandy Thompson 8th, Beacott 9th, and Mr. Robin HX is 10th, and everyone else below that did not finish. Any final words, Ben?
Chaos. It's a good sign for the rest of this Classic Cup.
Also, Jake was in the wrong car.
Right. That might explain things.
Just realised that at the results screen as I saw he was in a different Lotus.
Was he in the 72?
Yes.
Still, I would expect more from AOR F1 driver there. Disappointing day from Jake.
Anyway, that's it from us, and until the next one, it's bye bye.